Good afternoon, everybody out there. Welcome. This is a scan of the Bybit products brought to you by Bybit and TRADERCOBB. If you would like to get 10% off your trading fees with Bybit, please scroll down into the description and go forth and do that. Plus, there's a bunch of other stuff in there for you all to get involved with. Okay, so here we go. Let's have a look at what we've got today. Monday. One of those days where we get the weekly close. Let us have a look and welcome to you all. Hope you had a great weekend. We got beautiful weather right now in Sydney for 2 days. Should be really out fishing today. It's perfect. We went from 12-foot swell on Saturday to flat today. Last week, down 0.9. Bit of a weird looking week, but it didn't go too bad, did it? This now, we'll go down to the daily. And by the way, the weekly here, still the higher low, the higher high, we're still good. What we need now is the next push to get above our 50,000. The real question is where to from here? As you can see, we came down on, I think it was Friday? No, that was Saturday's candle. Well, we closed Saturday morning. And g'day everyone. It was a very large candle. We came into the cradle zone, we rejected, we closed above this level I've been talking about. We broke it the next day, and since then we've been a little bit, messy, I'd definitely say. Now, not everything in the market has looked like this, and you'll see that in a minute. Many of our alts haven't really had the decent pullback. They've just kept on soldiering on, and as a sort of byproduct of that, Bitcoin's dominance has decreased, and we like that because if Bitcoin's dominance is decreasing, we get better trends everywhere, and we tend to see the alts start to move. So right now, we need to see, with this higher low in play, this high be broken. And I don't like the way it's taking its sweet time at the minute. This morning was a little bit radical. I dropped the kids to school, and at that stage, we were up here, and it was looking great. Then we obviously sold off. Let's have a look. To the low, 3.7%. Crazy, huh? That's a $3,500 move these days. It's got real messy. It was looking pretty good this morning on that pullback to about here, and then it just kept on going because we had a higher low, higher high. Right now, it's just not there, When we do get a daily pullback like this, what tends to occur, what I like, is to see the higher low on the 4 and then get the 4 back into an uptrend because it gets all the trends moving in the right direction again, clears it out. We can look at the lower time frames as well. Of course, at this stage, we have not got that. We've got a higher low and a higher high, but the quick rejection has kind of stifled any real follow through there for us to trade on Bitcoin. So where to from here? It's a matter of waiting and watching when it comes to Bitcoin right now. Look, where we are, we're still above the support. We do need to see this move higher. If it comes back off, we have the potential for a lower high and then a lower low, putting the daily back into a downtrend. I don't want that because it takes quite a while for a new daily uptrend to occur. Right now, we've got the monthly, the weekly, and the daily in uptrends. Perfect scenario, follow through with that trend and put the bulls back in control. We haven't seen a second pullback. Here's the first pullback. We haven't seen a second pullback play out and continue for quite some time. Have a look. First pullback here, move up. Second pullback, fail. So, yeah, really want to see it push on through. Okay, let's go ahead and have a look at what options we've got across the top 10 right now, all down. Let's see what we've got within our Bybit perpetual list. Obviously, we'll start with Ethereum. ETH's pullback was small, brief, and it pushed to new highs. But as you can see up here on this 4-hour, we need to follow through. We've got a higher low, we've got a higher high, but we're also very, very messy. You drop to the 1 hour and you'll see, look, this is not the sort of thing I like to trade. I like really good trend, really, really good cyclicity. By the way, if you do like this, can you please like, share, subscribe with this video? Hit the like button. It does help. So nothing there on Ethereum. Bit USDT, again, very sideways. The daily trend is still in play, but realistically, it needs to break up through this resistance point. I'm just going to mark a reference point on that. Just there. It's not going to go into a watch list just yet, but it is a resistance point. Possibly if it breaks out, a pullback into that. As you can see, Solana did not really have a pullback at all. When you compare it to, say, Bitcoin, where we had this pullback, look at Solana. There is no pullback. It has been strong. And the 4-hour trend has been really nice until kind of now. Pullback in beautifully, starting to move. Now it's a bit messy and sideways. The only option here, could it be the... possibly the 12, but it's a long way until that really gives me anything to work with. On XRP. XRP's just been very lackluster, very sideways, very sort of messy. Even when it was running, it wasn't running hard. So I'll go past that. Cardano, last couple of days, not a great deal of action. We got a high, low, high. We need to see it push on through again. We need better cyclicity there for Cardano to be tradable. Same here on Binance. Look, we got the pullback. There's been some pretty volatile days, but we haven't really gone anywhere. We've been up, down, up, down, up, down. And you can see here on the 4 how that looks. It's not giving us too much to work with. Ideally, if Binance could set a higher low here and then move up to higher highs, we'd have a great looking trend. But unfortunately, right now we don't. Litecoin. There's nothing there of interest. Again, no cyclicity following through. And same with Shiba. And this is one of the things when it comes to trading. You can have periods where we've got great trends like we did the last couple of weeks. Really, really good trending opportunities. And then all of a sudden, it just, is working itself out again. And that's what we have right now in our market, is that it is working itself out. What is it going to do? I hope it pushes higher, so we get a lot more good trends again. But for the time being, the daily trends are in play. The 4-hour trends, they're a bit of a mess. A bit of a mess. So it's a patient period. Ooh. Link. Let's have a look at that in the 2. The 2's pulled back too deep. Let's go back to that 4. From this high to this high, we have convergence. We've got a bullish candle in the cradle zone. We have a higher low here. I think the issue is going to be the 8-hour. No, the 8-hour actually has a pullback. So, still a long way to go for that, but that's going to go into our list. If that ended up being like that, something fairly small, I definitely consider that. The 4-hour, we've got convergence, and if we look at the 8, because we do have a pullback here, that is there for a higher high, and we've got convergence on the 8 as well. So it definitely goes in a short list. Obviously, a long way to go. Doge. Higher low, higher high, pulling back. There's resistance region around there. Quick look at the 2. No, I'm not overly convinced there. It'd be nice to see it push on again, clear these levels of resistance and keep the cyclicity. It's not quite there. Sand's very sideways. Look at how messy this is. This is the sort of chart I don't want to be trading. Simple as that. No follow through, no good trend, just a mess. Phantom. Same sort of thing. Look, we did push out, pull back, but we're in no man's land in the middle right there, so I can skip past that. AVAX very sideways, no interest whatsoever. Mana, very much the same, a very sideways looking market. Chili's, if that candle was down a bit further, that'd be very worthwhile. But there's not really, there's nothing there right now, and the 4 hours sideways, so no. Again, LRC, very sideways there. I did think about this morning, but I didn't, what was it, the 2-day? Yeah, it's still got a trend. There was something about it, like just the structure of it, like it's pulled back. Well, it didn't really pull back, it just went sideways, then back up. It didn't break the high all that well. Still convergent, bullish candle in the cradle. It's still there. It's an option. OMG. Better on the daily if it pulls back in quite some way. Nothing on the 4. Matic, again, sideways on the 4. No real cyclicity there for us. Algo I looked at this morning in my live trading floor as well with this bullish candle, but it didn't pull back. That's the first thing. It just went sideways and the averages caught up. The second thing is the 2-day doesn't really have an uptrend, so I had to leave it for those 2 reasons. And don't forget, what I'm doing when I'm trading is I'm looking for reasons not to take a trade, reasons to leave it. I'll just mark in that as a reference point for support if it does build into it. It's not going to go on the list just yet, but you know, we'll see how that goes over the coming hours. H bar, it's very messy. Tezos, look, it really, really wants to, or it looks like it wants to. It's got to get above this level. It's got to push up through. Is there a level through there? Yeah. For those that have done my course and know what the Bitcoin breakout is, that's for you. You know what to look for. For everyone else, you've done the cradle, so I'll keep looking at that. Axie, again, very messy. Up, back down, a real mess in there. We don't like that sort of activity. Same here, I think, with VeChain. Yeah, it's just not got that trend. It's not got a trend that's worthwhile. Tron, if it does it on the daily, sure, but it's got a little while to go. IOTA. I don't think we're going to have anything because of this and the lower high there, but we'll have a quick look. Yeah. Unfortunately, because of this spike, there's a pullback. This is no higher high, so we don't actually have a trend. EOS. Again, I said this morning if it was down here, I might consider it, but it's not. So again, very sideways. We're seeing a lot of this sideways at the moment, and it just means that we have to be a bit more patient and wait to see what it does. Ethereum Classic sideways again there. Bitcoin Cash. It's definitely consolidating, isn't it? It's just not got a precise level. It's either going to break down through that or it's going to break up through that. Either way, there's not a great deal for us to do right now. Into ICP. There's resistance region up here. You know, it's a big candle on the 2, so it rules itself out in that respect. And look, it's not the greatest looking chart. I've got to be honest. I'll leave that behind as well. IOTA is still alive. No, as you trail the stop, it would have been taken out, I think, last week at some stage. So good trade, but it has now passed its use by. Luna, unfortunately, we go high to high and we've got a bit of divergence there. You look at the 8, it's not too bad, but the 8 needs to pull back in a bit further. What would the 16 look like in that case? Size screen, good question. 26 inch, I think. I think it's a 26. I've got 3 of them. Look, Luna, if it pulls back in on the 8, but it's got a fair bit for it to do, so I'm not going to put that in the list. I just don't want things to be in there that are going to sort of clog it up. AVE, divergent on the 4, very sideways at the moment, can be left. Same with 1. Look at 1 on the daily. Look, just a grind, very slow grind. Not a lot has happened in the last week to 9 days, and you can see it here. Very messy. Don't like that. Sushi. Gold, silver. Gold's a bit of a mess at the moment. I haven't seen silver for a little while. Sushi here, if it pulls back on the daily, that'll be good in the coming days, but again, it has work to do to get there. Uni, suspect a level. As a region, I'm just going to mark that for future reference when I go through and do a quick scan. It's not perfect, but if we were to push through there, pull back in, when you do a really quick scan, like you just tap through it, that could be that could be a good for if it breaks above and pulls back, Stellar, again, very uneasy, very, very ugly, to be fair. Let's look at the 2 on Atom. It's not really a 4-hour clear trend. It's just sort of busted up. Needs to extend itself. And we spoke at EOS a second ago. Compound, okay, here's a trend. We've got a higher low, we've got a higher high. High to high here, we are converging, although it looks a bit, how you doing? The 2. It's really a 4, isn't it? And when we go to the 8, we're not convergent on the 8. I'm going to have to leave compound. It's not quite got what we're after. And don't forget, you're going to have periods where there's not going to be a great deal. After a solid move, it often works itself out, as I say, and we wait a couple of days, and then we're good again. Hopefully that's what happens, and we follow through with further upside. NEM, very ugly, very sideways. NIA has had a good bounce from here, but again, look, you zoom in on this 1 hour, have a look. It's all over the shop. Let's go to the highs. Even the 12. It'd have to be the daily, and that's a long way off. Alice, not doing a great deal in here at all. File. Peter, you're asking about cake. I believe it's in this list. This is the buy bit list, so is it? It's probably down further, is it? Does buy bit have cake? If that's the case, I can bring it up. File, still sideways. I mean, look, you can look at this on the daily. The candle's really big though, and the stop would need to be here. It's just too big. Too much going on. Needs to step out to get that. A lot of them have got this higher low, or they've made a higher high, but they've got to follow through. If we get that next, if we get a push higher, we're going to have the dailies looking good, the 4 hours back in play. Then we can look at the lower time frames with it as well. Woo is still struggling in there. FTT, there's a reference point level, but that's it at the moment. Engine on the daily, if it pulls back, great, but right now still sideways. Let's have a look. That looks pretty good. It's got to pull back on, what's that? The 8. Yeah, pop that in. Rune. Is that on by a bit? Let me just check. As it's a buy bit list, I've got a, here we go. It is. And it's a perp. Let me add this to the list. Bingo. Right, okay, 8. Let's go 12. The problem I've got across the higher time frames here, Shane and Sean, sorry, and everyone, is that we've got this little lower high here, and it's a little bit messy on this pullback. That's the 16. The 12's pretty, you know, banging around a bit as well. The 8's out of order. I really like it on the daily though. You know, very clear higher low, hot pushing up. A little bullish candle somewhere in here would be really, really good. QNT USDT. I'll see if it is. No, it's not. I'll check if Thor USDT is. No, it's not. So let's go back and have a look at what we've got, because it's not a massive list, is it? And that's what we're seeing at the moment. When the market's not going to go, I mean, a great bounce, don't get me wrong, but now it's kind of working itself out. It didn't follow through. We need that follow through. And again, I'll say it again, we've got a lot of charts that have the higher low, and some like Bitcoin have the higher high. That's great. It's really what we want to see, but we also need to see it follow through so that we can start to open up these moving averages and give ourselves the potential for those pullbacks, whether it be on the 4 hour, the 2 hour, the 1 hour, the 30 or the 15. Whilst we're still in this 4 hour limbo land, there's not going to be as many opportunities, and we're going to have to be safe with what we do, or very careful. I'll go back and have a look in a sec, Peter. Sorry, I forgot about that. 340 to go. Bullish candle in the cradle. Link is definitely one to keep an eye on. I think that's looping. That's right. This was to keep an eye on that daily. Some might like that. Some might not. You've got your rules. You make your decisions. And finally here, is it light? What is lit? It doesn't really matter what it is. It's there, and it's perpetual. So, yeah, that 8. A pullback in here on that 8. I'd like to see it coming a bit further, to be fair. It'd be good. Cake USDT. Come on, Trading View. Good stuff, Sean. You must have had a good run with that. It is. That's the perpetual contract. And I'll throw that into, where is it? There. Okay, cake. You suggested the 1 hour. First thing is, I think it was the 1 hour. First thing is we're a bit stuck. It's the chart structure is not great. It's spiky. There's no real solid trend there. If I go lower, we've got not much there. I'm not sure what you're looking at on the, am I looking at the, did I get the right one? I think I'll add that to the list as well. Right, let me just back out and have a look. First of all, have a look at the daily. Daily trend's really nice. The 4 hour, very, very messy there. Yeah, I'm trying to work out why it's not. What am I missing here? Sorry. Cake. See, there are two of them, but neither of them the right one. Is that right? I'm super confused. Peter, I apologize. It seems to be that it's, I don't know. I mean, this is cake here. Am I looking at the right chart now? 1 hour. Yes, not CTK, but I cake USDT. So that's it there. Yeah, Sean, jump onto the chat. Go to TRADERCOBB.com, hit the chat, and someone will give you a buzz and help you through. I'm sorry, I can't. I don't think it's there. Question by Bobby. If a short started setting up, would I take it? Well, if it fits the rules, Bobby, absolutely. I mean, at the end of the day, as long as it fits the rules. One thing is that there's a lot of strong daily trends at the moment. So just being a little bit careful to manage your risk is the most important thing. This is a Bybit scam, Peter, so I'll stick with the Bybit products, mate. Sorry about that. So yeah, if there's a short that does start to set up, I'm still waiting to see what the market plays out. You know, we've got a lot of upward momentum at the moment. To take a short right now, it would, not that it would seem like a high risk thing to do. It could be a hedge that I'd take, but I'm sort of sitting back a little bit, watching it and waiting for those trends to really set up and the cyclicity to re-enter the market. No matter which way it is, I'll be able to trade it, but I need to see what it's going to do. So at the moment, it's quite cautious as far as I'm concerned. And yeah, I hope that helps. Of course, guys, this is brought to you by Bybit and TRADERCOBB. You've got in the description below how to get your trading fee discounts, as well as how to get onto our courses, one of which is the Become a Trader course, which is totally free. So go to TRADERCOBB.com and get stuck in. Have yourself a fantastic day, guys. Please like, share, and turn on your notifications and subscribe. And I'll speak to you again very, very soon. Have a great day. Bye for now.